Hey everyone, it's VidaShe'ree here, your host with the Get Paid for Your Passion workshop series. And this weekly training, we will be discussing 4 ways that you can produce income. There are only 4 ways that you can produce income, and that does not matter of the location that you may be in. You can be in Africa, Asia, America, Europe, anywhere on planet Earth, and there's only 4 actual categories that you can produce income. Now, just in case you're new to this training series, my name is VidaShe'ree, and I am the founder of the Get Paid for Your Passion workshop. Now, I have been an entrepreneur for about 6.5 years now, and I've studied, trained, and coached with some of the most top elite entrepreneurs around this planet. Now, to start off with, though, I had a pretty decent job, making about $40 to $50K a year, and I was pretty comfortable. I was okay. And the thing that started to becoming a realization for me was I was missing a lot of important dates with family members and graduations and weddings. There were even some funerals that I missed, and they all had one thing in common. I was always at work. That was always the excuse that I could not make it to these events. And, guys, those had a huge impact on me because I had lost someone dear to me, and because they were not a part of the immediate family, I was not able to go. Long story short, I started on a quest of entrepreneurship, and it's been a long road, guys, but when I tell you I built it from the bottom up. And, if it's one piece of advice that I could give you guys, if you never listen to me again, actually it's going to be 2 pieces, but it kind of goes in together. The first thing that I would tell you to do is find you a system. Find you a system from someone that's been there and done that knows how to teach it step by step so that you don't get overwhelmed and you can shortcut your way to success. Guys, and I'm serious. When you get a system that works for you, it's all about getting something that's a good fit for you. When you get a good system that works for you, you can fast-track your success, guys. I'm talking about 150%. So say, for instance, if somebody told you it would take you about 2 to 3 years to build up about $2 million. Okay. Now, what if they said they had a system that could possibly, you already know a couple of $1 million in 2 years is not bad at all. What if they said they could fast-track a large portion of that success by giving you a system? The only thing you have to do is do it step by step, correct where it is lacking, and just continue to make small steps into progress. That would be an awesome system, wouldn't it? Well, anyways, there's many systems out here, guys, so choose wisely, okay? However, I'm just telling you that is definitely one of the main ways to accelerate your success. And the other way is to get a business coach. Get someone, again, that's passionate about you succeeding and can be that person you can talk to sometimes when you have questions to ask. It may seem like a simple question to someone else, but you need an answer. It could be something as simple as, how do I build an email list? Why do I need an email list? It could be something as simple as, how do I build a website? Why do I need a website? So getting a business coach is, that's something else that will just feed you along. They're going to hold you accountable. But not just holding you accountable, they're going to hold your hand. As you take these different steps, these are major, bold steps that you're taking, when you decide to become an entrepreneur and get paid for your passion. So you want someone that will work with you side by side, answer the relevant questions that you need answered. So many times because I myself, I have different coaches because I really have embraced that, If you look around the world, some of our favorite actors and athletes and entertainers, they all have coaches, in some aspect of their life, whether it's a health coach, relationship coach, a singing coach. But when you start thinking about a coach or a corporate coach, that's when you're really serious about what you're doing and you're ready to go to the next level. Well, as I was saying to you guys, I have trained under a lot of the gurus, a lot of the people that we know in the game, such as the Brandon Burchard, Jeff Walker, Dan Kennedy, so many names, guys. And I have literally spent over 2,000 hours reading and studying and being coached with their materials and their books. And I just have a wealth of knowledge to give you that you can do every single day or once a week to really get progress on your business. And I truly believe that once you know where you are, you can truly begin a travel, you can truly begin a path or a trip on to the next level of where you actually want to be. So starting there, starting with where you are right now, it also gives you clarity because you can then, again, map out a better picture of where you actually want to go. So to actually start in the beginning of everything, I'm going to break this complete system down to you so that you can understand it for yourself. You, after you're done with these mini training series, a lot of the things that we'll be discussing, you'll be able to share them with your customers, or you'll be able to share them with your team, and they can go for and go ahead and implement some of these ideas and philosophy. Okay? So as I was saying, there are 4 ways that you can produce income, and we're going to jump right in with a chart to show you guys of the 4 ways. Now,
recording has started.
Let's see here. Now, this concept that we're going to be discussing today is called the cash flow quadrant. Okay? Now, this particular theory was created in my mind by the name of Robert Kiyosaki. Now, some of you may have not heard of him, but Robert Kiyosaki is a New York Times bestseller from Hawaii, and he wrote a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That is a book that pretty much put him on the map. He has went to the level of selling well over 26 million copies of this particular book. And, guys, it is very good. It gives you the ideas and philosophies from the perception of 2 different people that were in his life. His poor dad, which was his biological father, who was a teacher for the state of Hawaii, and then his rich dad, who was his mentor, that was an entrepreneur, but he was very wealthy. And this book is pretty good. However, Robert Kiyosaki has produced several different books about entrepreneurship and financial investment and financial knowledge. And in one of his books called The Cash Flow Quadrant, this is where this idea of 4 ways to produce income has came up. So let's jump right in. Now, the first part of this quadrant we're going to be discussing is the E-Quad, and that stands for employee. And that pretty much means you have a job. Over 95% of the people that I meet and help and coach and help them with their business, they start as an employee. Even I started as an employee. Guys, I've had so many jobs, and not that I was fired or anything like that. It's just that I had raised the bar on my life and said, if I'm working a job, I want to bring in a certain amount of money. So, guys, I was getting 2 jobs, working full-time. I mean, it was ridiculous, really, guys. No time for anything. It wasn't even no time to spend the money. It was like the money was just gone. Because I was spending it on how I had to always be away from home, and it was just ridiculous. Well, anyways, again, there's no right or wrong as we're discussing these different parts of the quadrant. However, you must choose what's best for you. Here at Get Paid for Your Passion Workshop, we focus on your passion. So say, for instance, if you were a loving nurse of a pediatric ward, and you love the impact and change that you're making on those children's lives, we want you to stay there, okay? We want you to stay there. We need you there. And the difference is you're passionate about what you're doing. However, we can still help you capitalize off of your experience by working there as well. However, we understand that we need nurses like you to be in those positions. But that is the difference between being passionate about what you're doing and it just being a job, which means just over broke, just in case you didn't know. Now, the number one thing with having a job, and like I said, it's not a good or a bad thing, but the number one thing with having a job and or being in this E quadrant of the cash flow quadrant, it means that you have to exchange your time for money. That's the only way you can produce income. That means you have to physically be there. You're exchanging your time for money. So with this particular part of the quad, it's not, there's not a lot of leverage there, meaning that it's not flexible for you to do some of the things that you wanted to do. It's so funny, guys, because a lot of the people that I talk to, as far as how they feel about their job and money and things like that, majority of the people that I talk to, they're happy with the money that they're making. Don't get me wrong. There's some that's like, hey, I need more of that stuff. But a lot of the people that I speak with, it's not even about the money. It's about the time. They say if I just had more time to do things that I love, like spending time with my children, with my family, with my older parents, it's like they would be in heaven is how they feel. So being in the area of your passion and thinking about having a more expanded knowledge about how to earn income would definitely broaden your horizon as far as getting you more income as well as spending time doing the things that you love to do. Let's move on to the second part, and that would be the S part. S stands for self-employed, and I also sometimes say a self-business person because when you're self-employed, it is a business. You are the business. Now, self-employed means you own the job now. So you don't have a job. You own the job. Self-employed, a lot of times, is for people that are perfectionists. They may have the theory or philosophy, if you want a job done right, you do it yourself. Now, this is a good bracket to be in, though. It's another good one, because at this point, you have a little bit more control as far as your scheduling goes. If you need to shut down the shop for a couple of weeks, you can, because you own this job. Again, since you are exchanging time for your money, if there's no leverage there and still that means if you're not there, you're not making money. So that's the downside to being self-employed. But not just being self-employed, it's really about you trading your time for the currency. Because at the end of the day, guys, regardless of what line of work or what quadrant you decide to be in, it's honestly always going to be a job to it, but you don't look at it as a job anymore. But just for the sake of the actual actions that you're performing while doing that particular duty, whether whether you're the CEO or the janitor, it's still a job, and someone has to do it. So don't get me wrong. I know sometimes I do refer to the JOB meaning just over broke, but I mean that in a certain context. If you're at a job where you can offer so much more to the world, but they have that glass ceiling over you where you can't move up, and they're bringing in other people that does not have as nearly as much skill and experience as you do, that's when it means just over broke. Not just over broke in finances, but just over broke in your confidence and your skill, and your contribution to the earth, So that's what we mean, when we're discussing those different options. Our goal here at the Get Paid for Your Passion workshop is to give you both. We want to give you the opportunity and give you the system and the strategy and skills to have time, which is so priceless. Time is priceless. Having time, goodness gracious. We want to give you the options of having your time as well as having the income as well, you know. Because at the end of the day, we all have to spend time, invest our time doing something. And if we could do it in a wiser way, why not do it? Why not go for it? By saying that, let's go into the third quadrant, which is the B quadrant. This stands for business owner. And as a business owner, this is awesome. You know, this is my favorite. The business owner means you own a system. You own a system. So that means pretty much that you have mastered a job or you have mastered a system to the point where you now have created your own system and you are now either employing other people to put your system to work so that you can get the money. That's awesome. Or you have created a system and you're helping other people start their system. So you have a system to help other people succeed at the job that you have mastered. Okay? So say, for instance, if you own a fleet of mobile car washes across the United States, you have started a system. You have a franchise. You own a system. You mastered the job of having a mobile car washing service, and now you're selling a hands-down successful way for someone to duplicate your success. Now, obviously, everybody's results will be different because everybody's not going to be out there when it rains with a big umbrella offering coffee and donuts just for someone to stop and get their car washed, you know. However, the main course, the main path of it, you can tell someone how to be successful in that particular niche. And that is the difference between being a business owner as from the employee and the self-employed. The main difference is you have people working for you to get the money. And it's actually people working with you to get the money. Because you could be selling the franchise information, however, it's people working together, you know. Before that person that buys your franchise can pass it down to his business partner, you have to partner with him so that he understands your system, understands everything that he would need for it to work. So that's the main difference with, you know, with being as a business owner. My favorite parts about it, obviously, is you're not exchanging time for money anymore, but it also allows you to work with people. And I love people. I understand that people will be the reason that you go to the next level. It's all about networking with people. You know, a lot of times, some of us, we have bad experiences with buying things online or people in the store. So we say, you know what, I'm not going to that store anymore and this and that, or I'm not going to do that experience anymore. You know, some people who have bad relationships and they don't want to step out there again. But, guys, I'm a firm believer. You just grow wiser the next time around. Don't ever let someone change the positivity about you, stop you from getting where you want to go because of one bad experience, okay? And that's why I love working with people, because I have been burned and screwed over so many times. Trust me. However, I know there's so many people that can show me so many different things. That's why I love connecting with people. You may be a person that's excellent at marketing and getting out there and talking to people, and then someone else may be an expert at organizing events, you know, and I just get revved up. When you're passionate about your subject, I get revved up right with you. So that's what I love about being a business owner. You get to meet so many different passionate people, and you guys can help each other overall. I mean, it's just awesome, guys. I mean, even to the point where, say, for instance, if you didn't do anything else except start hanging around people that want to go where you want to go. Guys, the passion is so contagious. I mean, you'll leave say, for instance, you guys decided to meet twice a month for 30 minutes. You will leave that meeting, guaranteed. If you're passionate and they are, you will leave that meeting so pumped up, you will go home and you probably can't sleep at night. You're so excited about your dream. So, you know, like I said, I just love being in an environment of working with passionate people, and that is one of the things that business ownership also gives. Well, let's move on to the I portion of the of the presentation, and that stands for investor. Now, investor this is it. Now, this is the creme de la creme. However, I know I have continued to drive home that there's no right or wrong in the cash flow quadrant, because as long as you have that passion ingredient, guys, you can put yourself anywhere in this quadrant. I have my personal favorites, and I'm sure you have your personal favorites. But I just want you to understand, when you're passionate about something, it's not a job. It's your life. It's something that you would do with or without the money. And since it's something that you would do with or without the money, why not set it up systematically so that you can get paid and lay in the shade while doing it, you know? Well, anyway, the investing part is the creme de la creme according to the financial gurus and, quite frankly, people with lots of money. And when I say lots of money, I mean people with $500 million plus, the Tony Robbins, Donald Trump, Oprah Winfrey, and so many more. These are the type of people that have their money working for them. This is when you start investing. Now, a lot of you may actually be investors as well. You know, if you have a 401k plan, that is something where your money works for you as well. If you have an IRA plan, that is something that allows your money to work for you as well. It pretty much says that you have a saved amount of money, and you're going to take that initial investment and invest in something else that will return a profit. So say, for instance, you worked and saved up $50K to buy you a house in cash and rehab it. Now you're renting it out, okay? You're renting that house out, and your tenants are paying the mortgage. Well, it's cashed out. So they're paying your mortgage to the home you have now, and they're bringing in about a good extra $400 of cash flow for you. That is what an investment would be. Another way you can invest is you see that someone that you know they're passionate about opening up a restaurant truck, but they don't have the capital, you know, or they don't have enough capital. They have a huge amount. So what you decide to do is say, hey, I'll loan you $10,000 for this particular strategy if I own 25, % of the business. You know, that's another way you can invest. So when I say the word investing, I don't want you to always think, oh, it's something huge or something that'll be out of the place. No, it's not. It's just that you taking a portion of your actual money that you have saved up and using it to bring in more money. Another way that a lot of us invest that we don't realize is when a lot of parents save up money for their children to go to college. You know, parents don't save money for their children to go to college just to save it for them just to get away. They save it in hopes that their child will become something more and bring back money to them. You know? So, as I was stating, there's no right or wrong way. I just want to bring this information to you guys so that you can understand where exactly you are right now in this cash flow quadrant. Because as I said, whether you decide to start a business or not, you are somewhere in this quadrant. And to have a more clarity on life, when you want to make progress and you want to see results, you have to know from which you have came before you can know how to get to where you want to go. And that's all we want to discuss with you guys today. Now, if you have any questions, you can always email me at VidaShe'ree@yourtruepurpose.com, and I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. Or you can always leave comments at the bottom of this video. Please feel free to share this video with friends and family as well. And I will speak to you guys next week with your free weekly training. Have a good day. Bye.